everybody.
Hi,
Happy
everyone.
Wednesday.
How you doing? Glad to know that you're here with us. So today we're talking about creating or reacting is what's making your life be what it is. I know it sounds a little bit confusing, but we're going to try to work this out for you. And
Right.
Can I just make this one point? I think it's really
Yeah.
cool that the letters in creating and reacting are exactly the same letters, but they're just turned around. So in the same way, are we creating our life by what we're thinking, or are we making things happen because we're reacting to, like Kim said, somebody else's reality?
We were talking about this before we came on. We've been talking about this all day.
Yes. So
I'm going to tell you why. So this morning I was having a moment, and this always happens on Wednesday too. I noticed that we're like, suddenly our topic comes to us.
hi, Annie.
So I texted Phyllis this morning, good morning, I have some stuff and I could use some help to handle it. And this is kind of what we asked you guys to send us too, right?
Right.
So I said, what do you do when other people's stuff, like drama, affects you? How to keep it out of your energy or not let it bother you? And as I'm texting this to her, I'm like, this is a topic. And I said, jealousy, gossip, negative energy, or is that all a reflection of you and your internal stuff? How to release it each time it appears. So as I'm like texting it, she's now answering me, right? And we're both
I
like,
thought she was asking me to help her with that.
and I totally was. And like at the same time, Phyllis and the universe are giving multiple answers about it. And so it turned into a great topic. And so, you know, both of us had stuff come to us about it. So that's how we started the morning.
Okay, so, all right, so here's the example that I'm going to give you from what this kind of means to me. So, hypothetical situation, but it happens every day. So Jen calls into work, she's going to be sick or she's not coming in that day, you know, the dog got sick and she's got to go to the vet, and it's the same old story. So everybody in the office is like, oh, here's Jen with her excuse, blah, blah, blah. She happens to be the person that like markets their stuff on Facebook and does their media stuff. So now you or this other person in the office has double work to do. So here's Joan that goes, oh, okay, now I have double the work. I'm never going to get everything out on time or blah, 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 blah. And so here is, are we creating this new chaos in the office because of what Jen's reality was? Or can we look at this, because it becomes a chain reaction, especially in an office setup or even family. Oh, I know how family could be. Let's stay away from that.
Right.
Okay, let's just stick to the office today, unless we segue later.
Right.
Okay, so, or can this whole new thought of creativity be, instead of that reacting, be, all right, let's, now you're Joan, the person who thinks it's all going to get thrown on you. Instead of thinking that way, turn around to like Annie over here and go, how about if we split this and then the two of us can work on it, knock it out a little bit quicker and whatever. Now, while you're discussing this, the delivery girl from the deli is bringing lunch and she overhears all of this stuff and says, well, wait a minute, I can do that. So guess what happens? She winds up knowing what to do, helping you out, and Jen happens to not come in anymore, and now you got somebody new. It's almost like the universe made all this chaos happen so that something new could come along.
Yes.
So in reacting in that positive way and not creating more chaos with your thinking, it actually opened the door for this new like solution to come in.
Perfect.
Instead of having that reaction that creates more chaos. And I really hope that made sense, because it certainly
awesome.
made sense to me.
That was exactly
Thank you.
dead on, actually.
But look how the chain of events happens. So are you laying in bed in the morning or at night and you're creating your day by going, oh my God, tomorrow, blah, 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 blah's probably going to happen. And then are you setting yourself up for chaos? Or when these natural occurrences happen because there are other people, like you said, These are other people's reality,
Right.
and we're reacting to it, and sometimes we can create more of a bad situation.
Right. So if that scenario, if they did not healthfully talk about it, if they were like, she's not sick, she's at the shore. Now I gotta do this and you gotta do that. And you go down that other path.
And it's helping you through your reacting
Right.
to create
Right.
either a good situation or a bad situation. I think it really comes down to you got to really be aware of your thoughts
Yes.
in every minute. And I know we say this every week, but like it's one of the truths. You have to be in a state of awareness and consciousness to realize that you're creating every step, every minute of your day.
Yes.
Everything that happens to you, the people that walk in your business,
It could be anything.
anything,
It could
relationships,
be anything,
what's going on at
relationships,
home,
friends,
what
anything.
are you thinking?
And I will tell you, in my morning when this came to me, I was like in the throes of going down the rabbit hole, and I recognized it. So I feel like that's part of, that what you just said, being aware of it, and it's being aware of being able to change. Like I know I can change this. I know I have to stop the thoughts that I'm having.
Right. And when you
So
know
I reached
this,
out for
you
help.
can do it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it opens up such a world of miracles,
Yes.
like things happening in synchronicity. So do you want chaos, or do you want to learn to step back from the chaos?
Yes.
And I think I just said this last week, look for the good in every bad situation, because if you dig deep enough, it's there.
Yeah.
It's there. There's a pot of gold at the end of every rainbow, whether you want to believe it or not, and all good can come from things, and it depends on where your reality is. And if your reality is at a vibration where you really want peace in your life and good things and not a lot of turmoil, then that's what you're going to bring to yourself.
Yeah. So if you're in the throes of the reaction, how to recognize it, right?
Yes.
Is like it's an emotional. All right. So being reaction is being a pawn in somebody else's creativity. Creation is bringing something into reality.
Yes.
So if you are reacting in a negative, like an emotionally negative way, or a knee-jerk response, that has like fear, it's fear charge
Yes.
and guilt charge and
Yes.
anger charge,
And
and,
that's
it's to protect your ego. It's like
Yeah.
protecting what you think you knew. Like that was my job, and I have this job to do, and like whatever. So in
And
that
judgment
scenario,
is huge.
judgment.
Everybody going, well, so and so should have done this. Well, so and so should have done this way. All that judgment and like Kim said, fear, judgment, resentment, jealousy,
Yep.
all these lower vibrating feelings create your reaction, create the turmoil. It changes the vibration even around the people that you're with.
Yes.
And that's what really spawns all this stuff. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Okay.
Spawns.
Well, all right. Well,
Spawns it, yeah.
Okay. Well, you know
Spawns.
how I am with
We're
words.
live. And so that
Welcome, Kristen.
a lot of that happens. So all of that emotional negativity and knee-jerk reaction is coming from a place inside of you where you're not feeling something like if you're focusing on what's negative inside you, that's what's creating that knee-jerk reaction, like not being good enough, in other words, or
Yes.
like whatever. And so that happens when you're when you're focusing on stuff like that, more of it's going to keep coming. So in that scenario, again, if you went down the rabbit hole of negativity,
Okay, but wait a minute. Right there. You know how you're saying if you're focusing on that, that's what
Yes.
you're... Okay.
Yes.
So what if, let's make a different scenario and
Yes.
like do it a different way.
yes,
So what if you look at your outer world and all the things that are going on
yes,
as a contrast so that you know
Absolutely.
more to be aware
Yes.
of where you are consciously and where you want to be as far as all those situations.
Yeah.
And it will really impact you by looking at it. Like, I know in one of the shows that we did, I said, like, how I believe, and a lot of people out there believe, we choose our lives. We choose our family,
Yes.
blah, 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 blah. Okay. And a lot of times we choose these families because we want that contrast of what we really don't want to be or what we want to be. So what makes it any difference that we're having these situations at work or in relationships because we're picking a contrast so that we better know what we want or what we don't want. And emotions, like, I don't want to feel fear. I don't want to feel jealousy. I don't want to feel resentment. They're horrible, negative things, and they don't make you a very happy person. I want to feel peace, and I want to feel joy, and I want to feel love. And I want to bring those people around me that want to feel those same things.
Yeah.
And I don't want chaos in my life, so I walk away from it. And even if I hear it in the same room, like somebody's on the phone, I have to like walk away. Like, I can't be in that vibration anymore.
Yeah.
And I think the more of that that's happening, the shorter it'll be when you really realize that's not what you want, and your consciousness brings you right to that place of, oh, it's definitely a reflection of something I don't want.
Yeah.
Instead of feeding into like the subject.
Yeah.
And that's what I think it is. Like, the subjects are so, sometimes we resonate with it because there's a little piece of that still left in us. But I'm telling you, the minute that you realize that's what it is and you don't feel that anymore, it's like it goes away, like it dissipates, like it goes into the crystal core and gets burned up, and it never to be happening again.
Yeah.
I mean, you can really get rid of feelings that way, and
And especially, it's helpful to recognize that it's happening. And that
it's all about retraining your brain.
Yep.
Retraining your brain, letting go of all the doubting Thomas and negative stuff that we've been brought up around. You know, a lot of us, except for like, you know, people like 40 and under or whatever, were brought up with parents that grew up in the Depression. Everything was like, oh,
Or grandparents.
I mean, I don't know how many times I heard, oh my God, that ice cream cone was 50 cents. It was 3 cents when I was growing up. And you start to go, oh, and it begins to give you like a fear of money or a fear of spending or, you know, like things like that. So there's a lot of things that are in the real core of our beliefs that create this fear and all these other emotions that are creating our reality.
Yeah.
And when we learn to be in a consciousness of reacting in a higher thought and not so much lack of, it really changes the game drastically. And I mean, I think just being happy is like a huge thing and brings so much good and miracles like into your life that you witness, that you see, and you're not seeing all this like dramatic stuff.
And that's why that daily gratitude helps, because it's a daily reminder of why to be happy.
Absolutely.
And to focus on that rather
Absolutely.
than, you know, the alternative.
Yeah, and stop premeditating what other people are thinking when stuff's going
Yeah,
on.
that's huge, and that's
But
judgment.
we have this need to feel like everybody's out to get us.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants something from us. Well, don't be so free to give it all away. Learn how to say no once in a while, and create that world where you have time for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to somebody this morning, and we were talking about like different topics of why people really don't take time for themselves and things, and it's because they don't want to be selfish, and selfish can be a really good thing because you're caring for yourself.
Yeah, it's
Even that is creating, you know, just
It's somebody
in
else's
thinking,
judgment.
I'm going to be selfish, I'm going to take care of myself, you're creating. So if somebody has something negative to say about it, let them say it. It's not what you're thinking, it's what they're thinking. So create the time for yourself.
if you think you're being selfish, you're reactionary to somebody else's thoughts. Because why would you ever think you're being selfish and think of that being a negative thing?
What's the matter? You did something for yourself,
Right,
and
you took
somebody
yourself
didn't
for
go,
a walk.
great, you're being selfish today.
Yeah.
You should do that. You should be selfish today. I mean, you know, we're so used to growing up and going, oh, you're so selfish. Oh, because you thought of yourself. Oh, because you did something for you.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
When I started going down that rabbit hole this morning and I was looking at all these different things, I recognize a couple of things. I recognized, and I heard this in this YouTube video that I looked up right immediately after I texted Phyllis. And the video is called Reacting versus Creating, How to Train Your Reality So It Doesn't Train You.
Right.
And that's by Your Universe on YouTube. And so one of the things that it talked about was even like a fear. So how about fear of like you're working to accomplish something. So all of us, we're all working on ourselves, right? That's why we're here. We're how are we
Exactly.
creating? What are we manifesting? And the fear of falling
Raising
short of
our
that,
consciousness to be,
right?
to be.
And to do great things. And so, and I recognize that in myself because I'm working on a couple of bigger, loftier things, and this doubt might come in as to whether or not you can handle it, or that it's gonna, instead of like, am I going to achieve
Is
it?
a reaction.
That's what I'm saying.
So
and
what
that,
we're
it was like
conditioned,
part
conditioned.
of that whole thing. It was something that started to derail me from what I was doing. And like I recognized it instead of keeping going and being like, that'll never happen. No. Stop right there and start recognizing.
You have to have, and it will all work out
Yes,
attitude.
absolutely.
And retraining your brain with this higher consciousness really begins with, it will all unfold or work out exactly as it is supposed to be,
Yes.
and it will be better. And you just have to believe that. And honestly, just thinking like that starts weeding out the chaos that you are faced with on a daily basis in every area of your life.
Yeah.
Every area of your life, has all of these characteristics, and applying a few simple beliefs like, how can this turn out to be? What can I do to turn this around and make this work? We all have solutions. We all have solutions, but you have to get to that place in your consciousness where you think that way before you fly off the handle.
Yeah.
And I think that
Keyword.
trying to be in control of a situation that you're not in control of will definitely bring up these chaotic and reactive issues. Letting go of control, letting go of a lot of things, and just letting go.
Yeah, letting go.
But understanding that we are the only person that we are in control of, and it starts with our thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
and it starts with what we're creating, and that laying in bed in the morning and laying in bed at night, and really deciding, what is my day going to be? Well, this is what my day is going to be like, and really watching it like a movie, and watching it beginning to end as best you can. And if you can't figure out the end, just hope for a wonderful, pleasant surprise.
Yeah. Yeah. Use words.
Ending to your day.
Use words, use pictures,
Yes.
whatever you need to do.
Do the players, do the people, do the situations.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the outcome that you want to have. And that's really how you create
Yeah.
your reality. And then stay there. Stay there, because that's what's going to really help in how you're reacting. Because you didn't see that coming. You didn't see that coming in your day. So go back to what you did plan.
Yes.
Things will
That's a
unfold
good
and
idea.
work out. Things
Yeah.
will unfold and work out. And you really have to, just being consciously aware is key in this. And not letting yourself get drugged into what other people are doing or saying. Like bring that white light down, surround yourself. Intention that it's not going to get into your field, that all day long you're going to be guided to create everything that you really want. And you can make it, you can be thinking right now and reacting to this going, voodoo, poo-poo, whatever. But you know what? It is solely worked for us, or we certainly wouldn't be putting our reputation on the line and telling you things that really don't work. that really don't work. Go ahead.
So here's 6 ways to go from reaction to creativity, right? So from reacting instead to creativity. So the first one is to think about the meaning of your reactions. So in that moment that you're having that knee-jerk reaction, why am I having, like, what is the trigger? What's
The
happening
real
here?
cause, the real
Yeah,
cause.
the real cause, the bottom line. 2, observe consequences of the reactions. And even in that visualization part, you know, if like what I was going through in the morning could have just derailed my day. I don't have time for derailment. I had to be here. I got other things to do. I
Right.
want to create things, right? So I was able to observe that happening. Imagine better responses. And right there is when I was like, hold on, I know I can change my day. I can change my responses. And I was able to think clearer about it. And so also to be more patient and respond calmly in that. Have self-compassion. These next 3 things are really my favorite. So recognize that you're creating personal change.
Yes.
And that's what we've been talking about all the time. And if you notice in every one of our videos, we go back to meditation, we go back to this,
Yes.
that, and the other thing, right? Because it takes time and repetition to make personal change. You're not going to be deciding to go from here to there and it could happen. Like,
But
you're
can I
going
make
to
a point about that?
Please do.
So when you're making this personal change that she's talking about, remember this. You're changing. That means that your vibration is changing.
Yes.
So the people around you who are not changing and staying in their stuff are going to have a reaction,
Yes.
but it's either going to be, I can't be in this higher vibration.
That's very
and,
true.
And move away, or they're going to kind of feel it unconsciously and join you with it.
Really.
So just remember, energy is a constant moving, changing thing. It's
Yes.
a constant moving, changing thing. And as you change your frequency, everybody else's has to also. And the rule is, high will never go to meet low. Low will always come up to meet high. So if you're changing and you're improving and you're getting to a higher level of consciousness, which brings you to a higher vibration, the people around you will have no choice but to either meet you
They're
there
going to change some way.
and change in some way for the better, or kind of move away. So remember that all
Right.
change creates change, whether it's conscious for them or it's not conscious for them.
Yeah, and so I also heard, you just reminded me of an analogy, like you're a piece in a jigsaw puzzle, and when you change your shape, everybody else either changes or they stay the same. You might not fit there anymore.
There you go.
Yeah, so that was number 4, that was self-compassion. Number 5, extend compassion to other people. So come from a good place.
Always.
Rather than opposition, or to take away, try to take away their fear in your mind, not from them, but like understand that they're coming from a place of fear.
Exactly.
And so give them compassion the same way as you would
Compassion
give you.
instead of judgment.
Yes. Huge.
And you don't have to agree with them, but console them or support them.
Or distance a little bit.
Or distance, if it's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it might need
that's all
distance.
the other option.
Yeah, because you can't absorb what they're going through either. But the compassion is recognizing that they're going through something.
Yes.
And like you don't have to get involved in that something. You can just back away a little bit and be like, okay, I get, something's going on.
And in all of this, you're creating a new foundation
Yes.
for your next step, or how you're going to handle things from now on, or what the mood in the office is going to be now, or the mood in a relationship is going to be on now. Where it's going is going to take from this place in the vibrations that you're putting out there.
Yep.
And what you're creating.
So, and then the last one is to imagine a new version of yourself with everything that you want. So, happy,
Visualization.
peaceful, and that's all what
I
we were
always
already
say,
talking about.
write it down, write
Yeah.
it down. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you a little feng shui tip at the end of this, okay? And here's what it is. today. Really do this today. So on a piece of paper, write down exactly how you see yourself, who you really are, who you really feel you are. And write down, I am so grateful that I have this quality and it helps me to deal with, these situations in this way. And today I come from love. Today I come from compassion. Today I do not judge. And do this little list of all of these wonderful positive things. So here's where you place this list. From the doorway of your office, whatever space you're going to do this in, stand in the doorway and divide all 4 walls of your room into thirds, okay? And on the left wall, so I'm standing in the doorway, okay? There's the left wall to me, we're opposite, I know. And in the middle third of that wall, in Feng Shui, Western Feng Shui, according to international Feng Shui practitioners and masters, Ralph and Lonnie de Amicus, that is the area of your self-image. It's the Aries section. It's the first house. It relates to your image of yourself, how you see yourself and how you want others to see you. So write this list and put it right in that section of your room. And it can be anywhere, it can be behind a picture, but intentionally put it there like this is how I see myself and this is really how I want my image to be to others. Place it in that place. Just do it. Have you got anything to lose? No. Check it out and see how things change over the next week or 2.
Okay. I wrote it down, so I hope you did too.
So once again, we're really glad for everybody that joined us today. And if there's anybody that you think may be helped or could use this information, please feel free to share it with them.
And just like I did today, if you think of something that you really need help with, inbox us, write it on our comments section.
Yeah, please do
or
that.
Or call or what have you.
And again, if there's any subjects that you want some help with or you could use some advice, let us know because we're always looking for... Oh, you did? Wait, did I just...
That's what I just said. Anyway.
Oh my God. All right,
yeah. All right, well...
Sorry, just in another place. I wanted to make sure you heard.
Live.
We love you. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day and a great weekend.